Welcome to my channel, Advanced Learners Studio.
Great to be here.
You know, we often think that dedicated study time is the only way to really get better at English.
The classic textbook approach.
Right. But what if your everyday morning routine could actually be, well, just as powerful, maybe even more so?
That's an interesting thought, using what you already do.
Exactly. We're going to explore how you can weave English learning into those habits you already have. Make it natural, effective, maybe even kind of fun.
Turning routine into opportunity. I like it.
Think of it like unlocking this hidden learning potential that's already in your schedule. We've looked into some really effective ideas that have helped learners make real progress just by tweaking their mornings.
Yeah, and we want to share some of the most impactful ones today.
And this isn't about adding more stuff to your to-do list, is it?
No, not at all. It's about transforming what you're already doing. Turning those moments into chances to boost your language skills.
And maybe start the day feeling, a bit more competent.
Absolutely. Mornings have this unique advantage, don't they?
How so?
Well, psychologically, that first part of the day, that's often when we have more focus, right? We're less bogged down by all the day's stresses.
True. Mind feels a bit clearer.
Right. So it's a really good time for absorbing new things, building good habits. And for English learners, using that morning window means you're practicing when your mind is generally more open to it.
Makes sense. So language learning becomes less of a chore.
Yeah, more like just part of the flow of your morning.
Okay, so let's dive into the first habit then. Starting your day with English affirmations. Now, I gotta say, that sounds maybe a little simple. Almost too simple. Why does it actually work?
Well, what's really interesting here is the idea of self-efficacy.
Believing you can do it.
Exactly. Affirmations, those like simple positive statements you repeat, they're more than just wishful thinking. They actually help build your confidence. They reinforce a positive attitude towards learning. And when you say them in English, you're not just shaping your beliefs about your skills, you're also getting some early practice with pronunciation, with vocabulary.
So it's practical too.
Definitely. Especially for beginners, people who might feel a bit shaky about speaking. It's like gently priming your brain for success right when you wake up.
That makes a lot of sense. So how can you, our listener, actually start doing this?
It's surprisingly straightforward. First, pick a few positive sentences, things that feel right for you.
Like what? Give us some examples.
Okay, maybe something like, I am improving my English every day, or I am becoming a more confident English speaker. Simple stuff.
Got it.
Then find a mirror, look yourself in the eye, and say them out loud, clearly.
Out loud is important.
Yeah, I think so. Pay attention to how the words sound, how they feel. You could even record yourself sometimes.
Oh, that's a good idea to track progress.
Exactly. It can give you some surprising insights. Aim for maybe 3 to 5 affirmations. Repeat them daily, just for a couple of minutes.
2 or 3 minutes, that's manageable.
Totally. And as you get more comfortable, maybe try slightly more complex sentences.
We actually heard a really great story about this working for someone. Maria, wasn't it?
That's right. Maria from Brazil. She really struggled with feeling, self-conscious speaking English.
A common problem.
Very common. So she made it a habit. Started her day saying things like, I speak English clearly and confidently.
And what happened?
Over about 6 months, she noticed a real shift. Her pronunciation got clearer, definitely, and she just became much more willing to actually speak English at work.
Wow.
And interestingly, she also started listening to English podcasts around the same time. She said that combination seemed to really speed up her vocabulary learning, too.
That's fantastic. Okay, so to help everyone picture this, let's imagine a quick scene. Say, a friend walks in while Maria's doing her affirmations.
Right, so the friend might be like, Maria, what are you doing talking to the mirror? And Maria could say, oh, hi, just practicing my English affirmations. They really help me feel more confident and, speak better.
And the friend would be curious, right?
Probably. Like, oh, cool. What sort of things do you say? And Maria could share, things like, I am learning English more each day and my pronunciation is getting better. Maybe even say, want to try it with me?
That's a great little scenario. And our suggestion for you listening is to maybe try that dialogue out loud with a friend or just record yourself.
Yeah, it's good practice for fluency, for intonation.
Okay, let's quickly touch on some key words here. First, affirmation. That's the positive statement itself.
Right, like her morning affirmations kept her motivated.
Then pronunciation, just how you say words.
He practiced the pronunciation of the sounds daily.
confidence, that feeling of self-belief.
Yep, speaking in public boosted his confidence.
And retention, your ability to remember things.
Exactly. Listening to podcasts improved her vocabulary retention.
Understanding these isn't just about vocab, is it? It's about the learning process itself.
Absolutely. Foundational concepts.
All right, let's move on. Habit number 2, listening to English while you make breakfast.
The multitasking habit.
Yeah. What makes this one so effective?
Well, the beauty of it is the effortless exposure. You're doing something routine like cooking or making coffee.
Right, something you do anyway.
Exactly. And you have English audio playing. You're just passively absorbing the sound, the rhythm, the intonation of the language.
Soaking it in?
Pretty much. You'll hear common phrases, maybe pick up some slang, all without that feeling of, intense study pressure. It just fits right into your morning.
Okay, so for listeners wanting to try this, what's the best way to go about it?
Key thing is choosing content that's engaging but also accessible for your level.
So not too hard.
Right. Beginners could try podcasts made for ESL learners, or maybe short, simple audiobooks in English.
Okay. And for intermediate folks?
Something like The English We Speak from the BBC could be great. Or maybe 6-minute English. Short, focused episodes.
And how long should you listen?
Aim for maybe 10-15 minutes while you're busy with breakfast stuff. The goal is just to get the general meaning. Don't stress about understanding every single word.
Don't get bogged down.
Exactly. And to really boost the benefit, try replaying short bits and repeating what you hear, shadowing.
Shadowing. Explain that.
It's where you try to speak along with the recording, mimicking the pronunciation, the accent, the rhythm. It's fantastic for sounding more natural.
We've got another example for this one too, right? Ahmed from Egypt.
Yeah, Ahmed. He made a habit of listening to that 6-minute English podcast while making his coffee every morning.
Good.
Said he only understood maybe half of it at first.
That's normal, I guess.
Totally. But he started this simple practice, just noting down one new word he heard each day. Like he mentioned learning resilient.
Which means?
Able to bounce back from difficulties. Good word. Anyway, over about 6 months, just doing that one word a day, he reckoned he added around 200 words to his vocabulary.
Wow, from just one word a day.
Yeah. And he said the shadowing practice really helped his pronunciation, especially for work meetings in English.
That's a great outcome. Okay, let's paint another picture. Your roommate walks in while you're cooking, listening to a podcast.
Right. Roommate might ask, hey, what's that you're listening to? And you could say, oh, it's an English podcast, 6-minute English. Trying to listen each morning to, improve my skills.
And the roommate might be skeptical. Does it really help?
Yeah, possibly. And you could say, definitely. Learning new words, like I heard resilient today, and practicing pronunciation. Want to listen.
Nice. Might even get your roommate interested. Sounds good. Maybe tomorrow.
Exactly.
So a practical tip here could be to pause the audio, repeat a sentence out loud.
Great idea. Or jot down one phrase you liked and try to use it later.
Good one. Okay, vocab time again. Comprehension. Understanding what you hear or read.
Yep. Her daily listening improved her English comprehension.
Resilient. That adjective, able to recover quickly.
He was resilient and kept practicing despite mistakes. Good quality for a language learner.
Definitely. Shadowing. The mimicking technique.
Shadowing helped her improve her accent.
And rhythm. The flow and pattern of speech sounds.
English has a unique rhythm that she practiced daily. Getting that rhythm right makes a huge difference.
It really does help you sound more natural. Okay, habit number 3. Journaling in English for, say, 10 minutes.
Writing practice.
Why is this so helpful first thing in the morning?
Journaling is fantastic. It gets you actively using the language, practicing grammar, finding the right words, putting sentences together coherently.
And it's private, right? Less pressure.
Exactly. It's a low-stakes environment. You can experiment, make mistakes. Nobody's judging, just you and the page.
Good point.
And for more advanced learners, it can even be like a creative outlet in English.
So how should our listeners approach this? Just sit down and write.
Pretty much. Set aside just 10 minutes. Write about your plans, how you're feeling, maybe a specific topic like what I'm grateful for today.
What about different levels? Beginners versus advanced?
Beginners can start super simple. Today is Tuesday. I feel happy. I will go to work, stuff like that.
Okay.
Intermediate or advanced folks can describe things in more detail, use more complex sentences. The key is just doing it consistently.
Consistency again.
Always.
Yeah.
And reviewing your entries later is really useful. Maybe use a tool like Grammarly.
Or get feedback.
Yeah, ask a teacher or a language partner to look at it sometimes. Get some constructive comments.
We heard about Sophia from Spain doing this, right?
Yes, Sophia. She started journaling about her daily goals. Really basic sentences at first, like, I wake up, I study English. But within about 3 months of doing it every day, she was writing these detailed paragraphs about her dreams, her travels, using much more complex language.
Wow, 3 months.
Yeah, consistent practice. And it really paid off. She had a job interview in English.
Now the real test.
Totally. And she said the journaling habit helped her articulate her thoughts so much more clearly and confidently during the interview. She got the job.
That's brilliant. Okay, quick scenario. You see Sophia writing early one morning.
You might ask Sophia, what are you writing so early?
Yeah.
She could say, oh, just journaling in English. It's part of my morning routine to practice writing.
You'd ask what she writes about.
Sure. What sort of things do you write? And she might say, today I wrote about my goals for the week. It helps me think in English, and improve my grammar.
Could be inspiring. That's a great idea. Maybe I should try it.
Exactly.
So a good tip is maybe sharing an entry sometimes with a language partner.
Definitely. Get feedback and then practice talking about what you wrote. Combines writing and speaking.
Nice. Okay, quick vocab recap. Journal, the notebook itself, or the act of writing.
She kept a journal to track her English progress.
Coherent, logical and clear.
His journal entries became more coherent over time.
Articulate, to express thoughts clearly.
She could articulate her ideas confidently after journaling.
And feedback, helpful comments.
The teacher's feedback helped her fix grammar mistakes. That reflection in writing really cements things.
Okay, habit 4 focuses on talking. Practice speaking with a language partner.
Crucial step.
Why is actually speaking so important, especially in the morning?
Well, speaking practice is where it all comes together, isn't it? It forces you to actively use the language in real time.
No hiding behind a screen.
Right. It builds confidence like nothing else, improves your fluency, that smooth flow, and exposes you to how people really talk, the nuances.
And doing it in the morning gets your brain working in English mode right away.
Exactly. You start the day actively using the language.
So for listeners wanting to find a partner, where should they look?
Oh, there are tons of great platforms now. italki, Tandem, HelloTalk apps and websites designed for language exchange.
Okay.
Find someone, set up a regular chat time, maybe 10-15 minutes each morning. Keep it simple at first. Talk about your day, your routine, hobbies.
Hit a casual chat.
Yep. And if your partner agrees, maybe record the conversation sometimes.
Why record?
So you can listen back later, catch things you missed, check your pronunciation, grammar. It's really insightful.
Good point. We heard about Lee from China doing this.
Yeah, Lee. He connected with an American student on Tandem. They chatted for like 15 minutes each morning, just about daily life stuff. Through that, Lee learned lots of natural phrases like hit the ground running, to start something energetically, enthusiastically.
Oh, nice one.
And his partner gave him feedback, helped him correct his pronunciation of words like schedule.
That personal feedback is valuable.
Incredibly. And that consistent morning practice really helped him pass an English proficiency test for university.
Fantastic result. Okay, let's imagine Lee's morning chat.
Partner might start, morning, Lee's. How's your day starting?
I'm Lee.
Could say, morning, woke up early, did some affirmations, now I'm ready to hit the ground running, using the new phrase.
Nice.
Partner, love that phrase. What's the plan today? Lie, got classes, then more English study. You, partner, heading to work soon, let's chat again tomorrow.
Simple, effective practice. So a tip could be preparing a few questions beforehand.
Yeah, definitely helps keep the conversation flowing, avoids awkward silences.
Good idea. Vocab check. Fluency. Speaking smoothly and easily.
Morning conversations improved her fluency.
Proficiency. High level of skills.
She passed the proficiency test after months of practice.
Hit the ground running. That idiom for starting energetically.
She hit the ground running with her new English routine.
And feedback. Again, those helpful comments.
His language partner's feedback was invaluable. Conversation is really the bridge, isn't it? From knowing English to using English.
Absolutely. Okay, habit 5. Reading English news or blogs.
Getting input through reading.
Why is reading so beneficial, particularly in the morning?
Reading just exposes you to so much language and context. Formal stuff in news, informal stuff in blogs.
Different styles.
Exactly. You see new words, how sentences are built correctly. It boosts your vocabulary, reinforces grammar, and helps you understand how language changes depending on the situation.
And cultural insights too, maybe.
Definitely. You learn a lot about culture through reading.
So how can listeners best incorporate this into their mornings?
Choose material that's right for your level. Beginners could use simplified news, like from BBC Learning English.
Okay.
More advanced learners can tackle The Guardian, Medium blogs, whatever interests them. That's key. Read stuff you actually find interesting.
Good point. Makes it less of a chore.
Right. And as you read, try to spot maybe 5, 10 new words or phrases, note them down,
Then what?
look them up, find out what they mean, and then try to use them, maybe in your journal or in your chat with your language partner.
Actively using the new words.
Yes. And another good practice is to summarize what you read. Either write a short summary or say it out loud. Checks comprehension and practices output.
We heard about Anita from India using this for her career.
Yeah, Anita, she read one BBC Learning English article daily, often on tech or health topics relevant to her job.
Good.
She learned words like innovative, new, and creative, and started using them in work emails.
That takes confidence.
It does. And over a year of doing this consistently each morning, her professional English improved so much it actually led to a promotion.
That's amazing. Okay, quick scene. Anita talking to a colleague.
Colleague. Anita, you seem to know a lot about tech lately. Anita, thanks. I read an English tech article every morning. Today's was about innovative AI tools, using the word.
Right.
Colleague, wow, innovative, sounds fancy. What did it say?
Yeah.
Anita talked about new AI that learns faster. I can share the link if you want. Colleague, definitely send it over.
Great example. So summarizing out loud is a good practice tip here.
Yeah, it tests your speaking and your understanding at the same time.
Okay, vocab. Innovative. New and creative.
The Innovative app helped her learn English faster.
Nuance. Subtle difference in meaning.
She learned the nuances of English slang through reading.
Comprehension. Again, understanding.
Reading news improved her comprehension skills.
And summarize. Give a brief version.
She summarized the article in her own words. Reading really builds that foundation.
Okay, habit 6 is all about vocabulary. Create and review vocabulary flashcards.
Ah, the classic flashcards. Still effective.
Why are they good? Especially for morning study.
Well, memorizing vocabulary is just fundamental, isn't it? And flashcards are a super focused way to do it.
Right.
Mornings are often good for this because, like we said, the mind is fresher, more receptive to memorization.
Makes sense.
And flashcards let you target the specific words you need or want to learn. Technical jargon, travel words, whatever.
So how should listeners actually do this? Make the cards, then what?
Choose maybe 5-10 words a day, words you've picked up from your reading, listening, conversation.
Okay, relevant words.
Exactly. Then make the cards. Physical cards work, or use apps like Anki or Quizlet.
Digital options too.
Yep. Put the English word on one side. On the other, the meaning may be in your language, maybe a simple English definition, pronunciation help if you need it, and definitely an example sentence.
The example sentence is key.
Crucial for context. Then, spend 5-10 minutes each morning actively reviewing. Say the word aloud, test yourself. Try making a new sentence with it.
Active recall.
Right. And don't forget to review older cards regularly, maybe weekly, to keep them fresh in your memory. Spaced repetition.
We heard about Juan from Mexico using this for his tech job.
Yeah, Juan. He wanted to improve his tech English, so he made 5 flashcards daily from tech podcasts he listened to.
Specific goal.
Right. Words like algorithm. He'd review them over coffee, saying the word, making sentences like, the algorithm improved the app's performance.
Practicing using it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And within about 3 months, he felt way more confident using these technical terms in meetings.
That's practical progress. Okay, imagine Juan reviewing cards friend approaches.
Friend, hey Juan, what are those cards? Juan. Oh, English vocabulary flashcards, learning words like algorithm for work.
Friend's curious. Smart, how do you use them?
Juan explains. Word, meaning example sentence. Review them every morning, like the algorithm solves problems efficiently. Want to quiz me?
Huh. Turning it into practice. Sure. What's algorithm?
Exactly.
So a good tip is quizzing someone else or having them quiz you.
Yeah, it makes it more interactive, solidifies the learning.
Okay. Vocab check. Algorithm. Those steps for solving problems, often in computing.
The new algorithm made the website load faster.
Retention. Remembering things.
Reviewing flashcards improved his vocabulary retention.
Jargon. Special words for a profession or group.
She learned medical jargon to communicate with doctors.
And reinforce, to strengthen something.
Daily practice reinforced her English skills. Flashcards really help move words into your active vocabulary.
Okay, habit 7 is a bit different. Practice English through guided meditation.
Combining relaxation and learning.
How does this work for language skills?
Well, it's a really interesting mix. You're listening to calming English instructions, which improves your listening comprehension in a, low-stress way.
Relaxed listening.
Right. Plus, you learn specific vocabulary related to mindfulness, feelings, the body. And it can actually help reduce anxiety about understanding or speaking English.
Less pressure, more calm focus.
Exactly.
So, for listeners interested in this, what are some good resources? How do they start?
Lots of options. Apps like Calm or Headspace often have meditations in English.
Popular ones.
Yeah. Or just search YouTube. Loads of free guided meditations in English, often labeled for beginners.
Good tip.
Listen actively for 5-10 minutes. Focus on understanding key phrases like breathe deeply, let go of tension. Afterwards, maybe repeat a few phrases you heard. Helps with pronunciation, internalizing the meaning.
Reinforcing the language.
And maybe just reflect briefly in English, right? Or say a sentence like, I feel calm and focused now.
We heard about Aisha from Pakistan using this for listening skills.
Yeah, Aisha. She struggled with understanding fast native speakers, felt overwhelmed.
Common issue.
So she started a 10-minute English guided meditation each morning. Phrases like release your worries became familiar.
Comforting language.
Right. And practicing saying them helped her accent, too. Over 6 months, she noticed her listening comprehension improved significantly, maybe by 30%, she estimated. And she felt more relaxed in actual English conversations.
That's a great combination of benefits. Okay, picture Aisha talking to a classmate.
Classmate. Aisha, you seem so calm today. What's your secret?
Yeah.
Aisha. I do a guided meditation in English every morning. Helps me relax and learn new phrases.
Classmate's intrigued. Really? Like what?
Aisha, things like breathe deeply or stay present. It's great for my English and my stress. Want to try it with me tomorrow?
Nice. Spreading the calm. Sounds amazing. Count me in.
Could happen.
So a practice tip. Write down a few phrases you heard. Try using them later.
Yeah. Brings the vocabulary into active use.
Okay, vocab, meditation. The practice of focusing the mind.
Morning meditation helped her focus on English learning.
Comprehension. Understanding again.
Listening to meditations improved her comprehension.
Soothing. Calming or comforting.
The soothing voice in the meditation made her feel relaxed.
And anxiety. That feeling of nervousness.
Practicing English reduced her anxiety about speaking. It's a really holistic approach.
Okay, habit 8 brings us to social media. Engage with English social media.
Using screen time for good.
Can scrolling actually help you learn English?
Surprisingly, yes.
Right.
Social media is full of current, informal English, slang, trends.
Real world language.
Exactly. Following English speakers, news outlets, language accounts. You get exposed to how people really communicate casually.
And the interactive part.
Right. Writing comments, sending messages. That's active practice for reading and writing in a fun, low-pressure way. Doing it in the morning is just a light touch point with the language.
So how can listeners use social media effectively for this?
Be intentional. Follow accounts that interest you but are in English. Fitness, travel, news, whatever.
Follow your interests.
Yeah. Then try to write short comments daily. Just simple stuff. Great post. I learned something new on a couple of posts.
Small interactions.
Or send a quick good morning message in English to a friend or language partner. And try to notice one new slang term or phrase each day. Like, on point.
Needing perfect or accurate.
Right? Jot it down.
We heard about Carlos from Argentina doing this with fitness accounts.
Yep, Carlos. Big fitness fan. Followed influencers on X. He'd comment things like, your workout tips are on point, using the slang he learned.
Nice.
And he'd message his language partner in English. He said it really helped him learn casual phrases and boosted his confidence writing short, natural responses, became comfortable chatting online in English.
That's a common goal. Okay, quick chat with Carlos.
Friend, Carlos, you're always on X in the morning. What's up?
Yeah.
Carlos, just practicing English, commenting on posts, messaging friends. It's fun. Helps me learn slang.
Friend asks.
Yeah.
Like what?
Carlos, today I learned on point means perfect. I wrote, your advice is on point on a fitness post.
Friend's impressed. Cool. Might try that too.
Could happen.
So a tip is writing a comment and maybe getting feedback on it.
Good idea. Ask a language partner to check your phrasing.
Okay, vocab, slang, informal language.
She learned slang like chill from social media.
On point. That idiom for perfect or right.
His English comments were always on point.
Engage, to participate or interact.
Engaging with English posts improved her writing.
And contextual, related to the situation.
Social media taught her contextual phrases like LOL. It's all about seeing language in action.
Right. Okay, our final habit, number 9. Practice English through a morning workout.
Getting physical with language learning.
How does exercise help with English? Seems unrelated.
Well, studies show physical activity can boost memory and focus.
Wow, the cognitive benefits.
Exactly. So if you follow an English workout video or even just describe your own workout in English, you're reinforcing vocabulary related to fitness actions. It can make it stick better.
Interesting connection. So how can listeners do this?
Watch English workout videos. YouTube's full of them. Fitness Blender, Yoga with Adriene. Find channels you like with clear instructions.
Okay.
Pay attention to the words they use. Stretch, repetition, inhale, lunge. Note them down.
Learn the fitness jargon.
Yep. Then, after your workout, describe what you did in English. Just a few sentences. Write it or say it aloud. I did 10 push-ups and stretched for 5 minutes.
Simple recap.
Or maybe join an English-speaking online fitness class. Or talk about workouts with your language partner.
We heard about Elena from Russia doing yoga in English.
Yeah, Elena. Followed a 15-minute English yoga video each morning. Learned pose names like downward dog, verbs like inhale. She'd describe her practice in her journal. Today, I did downward dog and felt relaxed. This helped her listening and gave her the confidence to join a real English-speaking yoga class later.
That's great. Okay, Elena, chatting with a colleague.
Colleague. Elena, you look energized today. What did you do?
Yeah.
Elena. Followed an English yoga video, learned downward dog, and practiced saying it.
Colleagues curious. Awesome. What's downward dog?
Elena explains. Yoga pose, like an upside down V. Great stretch. Want to try it? Colleague, maybe tomorrow.
Huh. Love it. So the tip is maybe recording yourself describing your workout.
Yeah, listen back for pronunciation, fluency, good self-check.
Okay, final vocab check. Stretch, extending limbs.
She stretched every morning to stay flexible.
Repetition, doing an exercise multiple times.
He did 15 repetitions of push-ups, often shortened to reps.
Ah, good point. Inhale, breathe in.
The yoga instructor said to inhale slowly.
And energized, full of energy.
She felt energized after her English workout routine. It shows how creative you can be integrating English.
So that's a whole bunch of ideas. 9 different ways to use your morning.
A lot to choose from.
The key thing really is finding habits that, actually fit your life, right? Things you might actually enjoy.
Absolutely. Don't try to force something that feels wrong. Start small.
Yeah, start small, keep track maybe, stay consistent, and don't be afraid to switch things up if something isn't working.
Mix and match. Language learning is a long game, a journey. These morning routines just make it more sustainable, more enjoyable maybe.
Yeah. By weaving English into your mornings consistently, you're not just improving your skills.
You're building great habits for personal growth too. It's a win-win.
Starts the day off right.
Exactly. It's about finding what clicks for you, making English just part of your daily rhythm. Every little bit adds up.
Definitely. Well, if you found these tips useful and you're looking for more ways to boost your English,
please do like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel.
We'll have more insights and practical advice coming your way.
Hello, welcome to the Learn English Lab. Welcome to the deep dive.
Hello. Great to be diving in.
Okay, let's jump right into something incredibly important, especially for you on your English learning journey. Building that belief in yourself, finding your inner strength.
That's right. We've looked at a lot of insights and practical ideas on this very topic. And it's really clear, isn't it? Believing in yourself isn't just, a nice to have.
No, not at all. It feels more like the actual engine that drives your progress, especially when you're dealing with the unique challenges of learning a new language.
Exactly. Think about it. Learning English really puts you out there. You're trying new sounds, figuring out grammar that might feel totally backward sometimes.
Right. Or just trying to find the right words when someone asks you something unexpectedly. It can feel pretty vulnerable.
It really can. And that's where inner strength kicks in. It's that ability to keep going, to trust that you can work it out, and to see those scary moments as, opportunities maybe.
It feels foundational, truly. Without that inner confidence, it's just so easy for self-doubt to creep in.
Oh, absolutely. You start hesitating or feeling like you're not good enough, especially if you compare yourself to others or worry about your accent.
Ah, the comparison trap. That's such a confidence killer.
It is. But when you build that inner strength, you develop resilience. The ability to bounce back from those tough moments.
Like maybe a conversation that felt awkward or a test that didn't quite go your way.
Or even just struggling to understand someone speaking really fast. Inner strength is that quiet voice inside saying, okay, that was hard, but I can do this. I will get better.
And what's interesting is how it creates this kind of positive loop, right?
Totally. The more you practice, the more little successes you have, which naturally boosts your confidence.
And then with more confidence, you're actually more willing to take risks, to practice more.
Exactly. It's like strengthening a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets.
So the big question then is, how do we actually build this muscle? The insights we looked at offered some really practical ways.
They certainly did. And one of the first big ones, maybe the most important, is learning to genuinely embrace your mistakes.
Okay, that sounds simple, but maybe it's harder in practice.
It can be, but it's powerful.
Yeah.
Mistakes aren't failures. They're like little signposts showing you exactly where you need to focus next. Strength grows when you accept that, imperfection is just part of learning.
So how do you make that actionable?
Well, one idea is to get proactive about it, like keeping a mistake journal.
Okay.
So if you catch yourself saying, I have 20-year gold, you jot it down, then actively find the correct way. I am 20 years old. It turns that little error into a concrete learning moment.
I like that. And you mentioned celebrating corrections too.
Yes. Acknowledge the progress you're making. Maybe you finally nailed using went instead of go for the past tense. That's a win. Give yourself a little mental high five or even a small reward.
Makes sense. And feedback is part of this too.
Oh, definitely. Getting feedback is crucial. You could try recording yourself speaking, maybe share it with a teacher or a language partner.
There are apps for that now, right? Like Speechling or Tandem.
Exactly. They connect you with people who can offer constructive feedback. For example, figuring out how to pronounce a tricky word like schedule. Maybe you started saying schedule and then practice until you get the schedule sound right. Using resources like Youglish or just listening carefully. That's not failure. It's a clear step forward.
Okay, so embracing mistakes is step one. Building on that, another key point was setting realistic, specific goals.
Absolutely critical. These huge, vague goals like I want to be fluent can feel totally overwhelming.
Yeah, they can make you feel like you're not getting anywhere.
Right. But if you break it down into smaller, measurable steps, it keeps you motivated because you can actually see yourself making progress.
So instead of become fluent, maybe something like
this week, I'll learn 10 new vocabulary words related to travel, or I'll have one 5-minute conversation purely in English about my day. Much more manageable.
And you need to track that progress.
Ideally, yes. Use a notebook, an app like Notion, whatever works for you. Log those small wins, new phrases you use, conversations you had. It builds tangible evidence of your improvement.
Evidence that fuels belief.
Precisely. And don't forget to reward yourself when you hit those smaller milestones. Practice daily for a week. Great. Treat yourself. It reinforces the habit.
Like maybe committing to just a 5-minute daily chat on an app like Hello Talk feels doable, right? And after a month, you definitely notice a difference.
Exactly. That concrete proof is so powerful for building self-belief.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. What about our inner voice? That came up to the importance of positive self-talk.
Oh, massively important. That internal monologue you have running. It shapes your confidence more than you might realize if it's constantly critical.
I'm so bad at this. My accent sounds awful.
Yeah, that just erodes your belief over time. You need to actively work on changing that narrative.
How? Is it just telling yourself nice things?
Sort of, but it's more structured. Try writing down affirmations that feel true or aspirational for you. Things like, I am getting better at English every day. Or maybe, my accent shows where I come from, and that's okay. Or, I am capable of expressing my ideas.
And then you just read them.
Repeat them. Daily is good. Maybe say them aloud while looking in the mirror sounds cheesy, but it can help. And crucially, challenge the negative thoughts when they pop up.
How do you challenge them?
Ask yourself, is this thought really true? What evidence do I have against it? If you think I'm terrible at English, force yourself to list 3 specific things you have learned or improved recently.
That sounds like a powerful technique, like before a speaking test, instead of freaking out.
Exactly. You can tell yourself, okay, I've prepared for this. I know my stuff. I can get my ideas across clearly. That internal shift can genuinely change how you perform and feel.
Right. Another big piece that emerged was the environment surrounding yourself with supportive people.
Yes, you absolutely don't have to go through this learning journey alone. Having encouragement from others can be a real lifeline, especially when you had a rough patch.
So finding your tribe, so to speak?
Kind of. Look for language communities, maybe online forums, Discord servers, or local clubs through Meetup, places where other learners get the struggle and celebrate the small wins together.
And language partners.
Definitely. Using platforms like italki or Reply to find someone for practice can be great. Someone who gives useful feedback, but in an encouraging way.
And just talking to your existing network.
For sure. Tell supportive friends or family about your goals and your progress, maybe even your struggles. Just having someone cheer you on helps. We saw that story about Maria.
She was anxious about job meetings.
Right. Moved to a new place, felt overwhelmed. But she joined a supportive group, like Toastmasters, started using positive self-talk, set small, achievable goals. And she went from being quite shy to a confident presenter. Her story really highlights how community support makes a tangible difference.
That's inspiring. Okay, next up, and this one feels like it requires, well, guts. Taking risks and stepping outside your comfort zone.
Yes, this is where the rubber meets the road, in a way. Pushing your limits is how you build resilience and prove to yourself what you're capable of.
So actually using English in the real world, even if it's scary.
Exactly. Even if it makes your palms sweat, it's incredibly empowering when you do it.
What are some small ways to start?
Start really small, order your coffee in English, ask for directions, even if you kind of know the way.
Sure.
Make a simple phone call, maybe booking something.
Okay, manageable steps.
Then maybe join an online event, a webinar discussion, something related to your interests, practice listening, and maybe type a question or comment.
What about recording yourself? That feels risky.
It can, but maybe record a short video, just talking about your day, and share it with a trusted language partner for feedback. If speaking in front of others is the big fear, start super small. Introduce yourself in English at a tiny group event first, then work your way up.
Like Priya, the developer you mentioned.
Yeah, her story was great. She was scared of fast native speakers and video calls for work. But she intentionally put herself in those situations, used tech tools like Elsa Speak to practice pronunciation, and joined a technical English group. Taking those risks, even when awkward, really boosted her confidence.
It seems like a core belief underlies all of this, something about mindset.
Absolutely. Developing a growth mindset. This is fundamental.
Define that for us.
It's the core belief that your abilities, including language ability, aren't fixed. They can be developed through dedication and hard work. It's that crucial shift from I'm bad at English to
And I'm not good at English yet, but I'm working on it and getting better.
precisely. That yet is powerful.
So how do you cultivate that?
Look for inspiration. Read stories of people who successfully learned English. You can find these online. Notice the effort they put in. Focus on your own process and effort, not just the immediate results. Progress often happens gradually.
Right, it's not always linear.
Not at all. And try to reframe challenges. When you hit something difficult like complex grammar or understanding fast speech, don't see it as proof you can't do it. See it as an interesting puzzle, an opportunity to learn something new.
So if verb tenses are driving you crazy,
Dedicate maybe 10 minutes a day just to focusing on one specific tense until it starts to click. Break it down. Ahmed's story fits here too. He was insecure about his pronunciation.
after being teased.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he adopted that growth mindset. He practiced consistently using YouTube, found partners on Tandem, set a goal to give a presentation. It was his perseverance and focus on practice and feedback that got him through.
Okay. One last crucial point, and it feels quite gentle compared to risk-taking. Self-compassion.
Yes, perhaps the most underrated element. Being kind to yourself is essential, especially when you're struggling or make a mistake. Treat yourself like you'd treat a friend in the same situation.
With understanding, not harsh criticism.
Exactly. Acknowledge the effort you put in, even if the result wasn't perfect. Okay, I studied for an hour today, or I tried speaking for 20 minutes. Be proud of the effort itself.
And taking breaks is part of this.
Definitely. Avoid burnout. Schedule rest days, or days where you just do something light and fun in English, like watching a cartoon or listening to music. Don't push yourself relentlessly.
And forgiving yourself for mistakes.
Absolutely. Try to laugh them off if you can. If you forget a word or mix up grammar in a conversation, don't get bogged down in embarrassment. Just correct yourself if needed, maybe a quick oops, I meant, and move on. Dwelling on it doesn't help.
That's where Carlos's story came in, the restaurant owner.
Right. He faced real fluency struggles while setting up his business, which must have been stressful. But he leaned into self-compassion. He found creative ways to practice, like watching cooking shows, joined language exchanges, accepted it was a process, and didn't beat himself up. That self-kindness built his resilience.
So these aren't just theories. You can see how they play out in real situations.
Completely. Think about being in a language class. A classmate saying, "Hey, you're doing great," or "You know more than you think." That peer encouragement really helps.
Or the teacher suggesting a small goal, like just try to answer one question today.
Right. Little steps build assertiveness. Even recording yourself practicing, while maybe feeling awkward, builds resilience for when you have to speak live.
What about something high stakes, like a job interview in English?
Preparation is key there, which is itself an act of building belief. Practicing common interview questions, maybe role-playing with a partner.
Getting that feedback.
Exactly. And learning to keep answers clear, authentic. All that preparation reduces anxiety and makes you feel much more capable, more empowered.
That feeling of being prepared really does make you feel more confident, almost unstoppable sometimes.
It does. And having the right words helps too. Building your vocabulary around these feelings and strategies is useful in itself.
Words like nervous, confident, obviously, but also resilient, inadequate,
Empowered, optimistic, dedicated, apprehensive, even terrified or overwhelmed. But also adaptable and inspiring. Knowing these words helps you name your experience.
You could even practice using them, maybe write about your own journey.
Great idea. And there were specific exercises suggested too, right? Practical things people can do.
Yeah, like the Mistake to Mastery Challenge, actively turning errors into learning points.
And affirmation mirror talk, making that positive self-talk a concrete daily habit.
Role-play conversations for practicing those comfort zone stretches in a safe way.
Vocabulary flashcards for the belief-related words we just mentioned. And things like a listening and speaking challenge to integrate skills.
So really bringing this all back to you, the listener, this whole deep dive into self-belief, it's not just theory.
Not at all. It's a practical toolkit. These are actionable steps you can genuinely start using today in your English learning.
Remember, every single effort counts. Every word you look up, every awkward conversation you push through, every mistake you notice and correct, it's all moving you forward.
Start by consciously trying to cultivate that belief in yourself. Let that inner strength be your guide. Exploring these ideas in depth like this, we hope, is really valuable for your growth.
Please like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel.
And as you think about what comes next for you, here's a final thought to consider. If believing in yourself truly is the spark, what's one small action, just one tiny step, you could take today to ignite that spark and nudge yourself just an inch outside your English comfort zone?
Hello, welcome to the Learn English Lab.
Hello, great to be here.
Today we're diving into something everyone's looking for, right? Happiness.
That's right. And specifically, we're looking at a guide designed for English learners. How to understand happiness, how to achieve it.
And importantly, how to talk about it in English.
Exactly. This isn't just about, feeling good momentarily.
No.
It's deeper. It's about understanding the different sides of happiness, boosting your English vocabulary around it.
And getting comfortable actually using that vocabulary in everyday conversations.
Precisely. Our mission, if you like, is to unpack the core ideas around happiness from this guide.
And see how they directly link to your English learning journey, while also hopefully giving you a richer sense of well-being.
So where do we start? Defining it, I suppose.
Yeah. What is happiness according to this guide? It's not just fleeting pleasure, is it?
No, not at all. The guide defines it more as a sustained state of well-being. It includes joy, sure, but also things like contentment and fulfillment.
That's a key distinction. Sustained well-being, not just those quick highs.
Right. And for you,
Right.
as English learners, being able to grasp that and then articulate it, that really deepens your connection with people.
And your ability to express your own feelings, which is huge.
Absolutely. The guide also stresses that happiness is, it's personal. It's subjective.
Meaning what makes me happy might be totally different for you or anyone else listening.
Exactly. For one person, it might be all about family. For another, maybe achieving a big goal at work or in their studies.
Or even just finding peace and solitude sometimes.
That too. It varies massively.
So to help us talk about this subjective thing, the guide introduces some vocabulary, words like Elusive.
Elusive means something hard to find or pin down. Like sometimes happiness can feel elusive when you're stressed out.
Okay. And contentment.
Contentment is more like a peaceful satisfaction, feeling content with your daily life maybe. Finding contentment in simple things.
Right. And fulfillment sounds bigger, deeper.
It often is. It's that sense of satisfaction you get from achieving something meaningful, like the fulfillment after finishing a tough language course.
Makes sense. And subjective just reinforces that it's all based on individual experience.
You got it. Happiness is inherently subjective.
Okay, so if it's so subjective, how does the guide offer practical advice? Are there common strategies?
That's the next step. Despite its personal nature, the guide lays out 7 practical tips for cultivating happiness. Things that generally work for many people.
All right, let's hear them. What's the first one?
Practicing gratitude.
Gratitude, being thankful. Seems simple but powerful.
It really is. The guide notes it boosts your mood, reduces stress, and for English learners, it's a fantastic exercise.
How so?
Well, it pushes you to describe positive experiences. You naturally start looking for more descriptive words, positive adjectives.
Oh, I see. Like keeping a gratitude journal, maybe.
Exactly what the guide suggests.
Yeah.
Keep one in English. Use those richer adjectives.
It mentions an example, right? Maria from Brazil.
Yes. She started a journal, writing about things like a heartwarming conversation or her cozy apartment.
Delicious coffee, too, I think.
That's the one. And she found it didn't just make her feel better, it genuinely improved her English writing and confidence.
That's brilliant. So the act of naming the good things in English helps solidify the feeling and the language.
Precisely. So a quick tip for you listening. Maybe jot down 3 things you're grateful for right now and try using some new adjectives to describe them.
Good idea. Okay, tip number 2.
Building strong relationships. Human connection.
A cornerstone, really. Essential for happiness.
Absolutely. And for language learners, it's gold. Pure conversation practice.
You learn so much about cultural nuances, too. Things you just don't get from books.
Right, and it builds confidence like nothing else. The guide suggests joining English-speaking groups, practicing simple greetings, asking opening questions.
Just getting started. It mentions Ahmed from Egypt.
It does. He joined an online conversation club, started simple, and apparently it made a huge difference to his fluency and his overall happiness. He even started using phrases like, "I really appreciate your advice."
That shows real progress and comfort. There's also that little cafe chat example, Anna and Liam.
Yeah, just showing a natural conversation, how friends lift each other's moods. They use simple, useful phrases like, "It's great to see you."
How's everything going? Stuff you use all the time.
And they even talk about trying a gratitude exercise together, linking back to the first tip.
Nice connection. And vocabulary here, cornerstone you mentioned.
Right, like trust being a cornerstone of friendship, also nuances those subtle differences in meaning.
Crucial for higher level understanding. And acquaintance.
Just someone you know casually, not a close friend, maybe someone from your language exchange, and acquaintance.
Got it. Okay, tip 3 is about goals.
Pursuing meaningful goals. That sense of purpose it gives you.
Which definitely fuels happiness. And for English learners, language goals are right there, aren't they?
Totally. It's inherently motivating. The guide recommends the SMART framework for setting goals.
Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound, good framework.
Very useful. And we see Priya from India using it. Her goal was passing an English exam.
And she broke it down, took steps.
And felt that huge joy and confidence boost when she achieved it. It shows how working towards something concrete pays off.
A great example. So, setting a clear, SMART goal for your English learning could be a good takeaway activity here too.
Definitely.
All right, number 4, body and mind.
Taking care of your body and mind. Physical and mental health. They're fundamental.
You can't really feel happy or learn effectively if you're run down or stressed out.
Yeah, exactly. When you feel good physically and mentally, learning just clicks better.
So what's the tip here for English learners?
Try short mindfulness exercises, perhaps guided ones in English, and then try describing how you feel afterwards.
Oh, interesting. Builds a vocabulary around feelings and states of being.
And there's Carlos from Mexico. He started jogging while listening to English podcasts about health and well-being.
Multitasking. Exercise and listening practice.
Yeah, and he picked up phrases like keep it up and stay motivated, boosting his mood in his English.
Cool. Vocabulary introduced here. Mindfulness.
Being present, yes.
Yeah.
Refreshed, feeling renewed, and vibrant, full of energy.
All positive states. Okay, number 5, positivity and resilience.
Embracing positivity and resilience. So having a generally optimistic outlook and, crucially, being able to bounce back from setbacks.
Which for language learners often means dealing with mistakes, right?
Yeah.
Not letting them get you down.
Precisely. The key is to reframe mistakes. See them as learning opportunities, not failures.
And celebrate the small wins along the way.
Definitely.
Huh.
We hear about Elena from Russia who struggled with pronunciation.
But she didn't give up.
No, she watched movies, mimicked actors, joined a class. She kept going. Her positive attitude was key.
And there's a conversation snippet with her and Mark, right, where he suggests repeating phrases from TV shows.
Yes, and she uses that great phrase, "I'm over the moon," when she makes progress.
Right.
Perfect example of expressing real joy.
Love that idiom. Vocabulary here. Resilience, obviously.
The ability to bounce back, reframe, changing how you view something, and setback, a temporary hurdle.
All very relevant for learning. Okay, number 6 is about small moments.
Finding joy in small moments. Recognizing that happiness isn't always about the big stuff.
It's often in the everyday, the little things.
Exactly. And for learners, taking the time to describe these small moments in English, it deepens your appreciation and your language skills.
By using sensory words.
That's the suggestion. Describe what you see, hear, smell, taste, touch. We have Lynn from Vietnam journaling about tripping birds or feeling serene on a walk.
Noticing and naming those details makes them more real somehow and builds vocabulary.
It really does. So, another quick practice idea. Describe a small, joyful moment from your day using sensory language.
Nice. And the final tip, number 7.
Give back to others, helping people.
The feel-good factor of doing good.
It creates purpose, connection. It's powerful. For English learners, maybe this means helping another learner practice.
Or tutoring, like the example of Javier from Spain.
Exactly. He tutors younger students and finds real fulfillment in their progress.
Yeah.
He uses simple, helpful phrases like, "How can I help you?"
There's also a little dialogue where he's teaching happiness phrases.
Yes, with his student Sophia, they practice, "I'm thrilled," and "I feel on top of the world."
Great expressions. And the vocabulary focus is fulfilled, kindness, and purpose.
All tied into that act of giving back.
Okay, so those are the 7 tips. The guide then moves into actually expressing happiness in English, right? Giving us specific phrases.
Yes, some really common and useful ones. You mentioned, "I'm over the moon" already.
Right, for big successes. What else?
"I'm thrilled." Usually for exciting news. "I feel on top of the world" for moments of great joy.
I'm beaming when you're visibly happy, smiling a lot.
And "I'm in high spirits," just generally feeling cheerful and positive.
Those are fantastic. Having a range of ways to say I'm happy is really useful.
Definitely adds color to your English. The guide suggests trying to make a short dialogue using a few of these. Good practice.
And it doesn't stop there. There's an expanded vocabulary list too.
Oh yeah, a whole bunch of words to describe different shades of happiness, like bliss, cheerful, serene, exuberant.
Radiant, uplifting, optimism, thriving, delight. Quite a list.
It really shows the richness of English for expressing positive emotions.
Absolutely. Then the guide touches on culture, how happiness is viewed differently.
Right? It's not universal in its expression or even its definition sometimes. It brings up the Japanese concept of ikigai.
Finding purpose through passion, skill, contribution, that intersection.
Exactly. And it mentions Lynn, a learner who shared ikigai in her English class, sparking a great discussion about cultural views on fulfillment.
That's fascinating. A good reminder that our own cultural lens shapes how we see happiness.
For sure. The guide suggests maybe researching a concept of happiness from another culture as an exercise.
Interesting homework. And then happiness in media, books, movies.
Yeah, looking at how stories explore happiness. It mentions the Happiness Project book and the movie The Pursuit of Happiness.
Both powerful examples. And good sources for vocabulary like perseverance and hope.
Definitely. The practice idea is maybe watching a short English film clip about happiness and summarizing it.
Good listening and speaking practice. Finally, there's an advanced conversation example.
Yes, between May and Sam in a park. And it shows a more complex discussion, weaving together many of these ideas.
Talking about small moments versus big wins, cultural differences.
Using more sophisticated vocabulary too, like exhilarated, serene moments, savored, heartwarming, cornerstone, blissful.
It shows where your English conversations can go as you become more fluent in discussing these topics.
It's a great model for higher level learners.
So wrapping this all up, it feels like the secret to happiness, according to this guide, isn't one big secret at all.
No, it's more like a collection of intentional actions, habits, mindsets.
Things you can actively build into your daily life.
Exactly. And for you learning English, Focusing on these isn't just about feeling happier.
It directly improves your language skills. It gives you real, meaningful things to talk about.
You learn to express emotions, share experiences, connect more deeply. It all works together.
So, by practicing gratitude, building connections, working towards goals, taking care of yourself,
Embracing positivity, enjoying small moments, giving back, you're cultivating happiness and becoming a better English speaker.
two birds with one stone, really.
Yeah, you can say that. Remember, this guide we've discussed is just a starting point. Keep exploring these ideas.
And keep practicing your English as you do. It's a journey.
Absolutely.
And if you found this deep dive helpful and insightful, please do like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel.
We'll have more language learning content for you. Welcome to the deep dive. We all know that physical post-lunch slump, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But for an advanced English learner, there's this other kind of slump, this mental one, where switching back into that high-effort English brain feels, I don't know, like dragging an anchor.
It really does. It's like the ultimate test of linguistic endurance, you could say. But our sources, well, they're a collection of strategies for high-performing multilinguals, actually. And they reveal that the afternoon is, believe it or not, a bit of a goldmine for integrating language skills.
The gold mine.
Yeah, it's about turning those work or study hours into, like, seamless English practice, but without the added stress of, formal study time.
Okay, right. Let's unpack this then. So our mission today is pretty strategic. We're looking for those high-efficiency habits, the ones designed to fight that cognitive drag and boost fluency at the same time.
Exactly.
We need the most effective, maybe science-backed ways to really transform that tricky afternoon time into, well, growth.
Yeah.
So where do we start? Let's go for the immediate wins first.
Okay. The foundational habit, and honestly the lowest effort win, is device immersion.
The simple act of switching your phone, your computer settings, all that stuff to English.
Yep.
It almost sounds too easy to really matter, doesn't it? But the research pointed to something quite crucial here. Consistency.
That's the key.
Every notification, every menu setting, every app label, it just reinforces vocabulary passively.
Yeah.
You're not sitting down trying to learn settings or data usage.
No, not
You just start knowing them because they're kind of constant background noise.
Exactly. And it builds this sort of muscle memory for professional language, too. But, to take this from just passive immersion to active retention, the data suggests you need to actively challenge yourself.
How so?
Like mentally narrate your afternoon tasks in English. Internally frame what you're doing at work. Okay, I need to prioritize client feedback before I schedule that follow-up call.
Right, that immediately tackles verb tenses and professional vocabulary. But, okay, here's a question. For someone who's already feeling that mental fatigue mid-afternoon, isn't mentally narrating your entire email review process just adding another layer of effort? Is that really sustainable?
That's a really valid point. The sustainability seems to come from starting small, first off, and interestingly, the cognitive boost itself.
What do you mean?
Well, the act of switching language, even just internally in your head, can actually activate executive functions in the brain. It can help fight that mental fatigue. So it's a purposeful shift, you see, not just more mental labor.
Okay, that makes sense. Using the language switch as a kind of mini mental reset button.
Precisely.
We actually have a really compelling anecdote that highlights this immediate career benefit. Raj from India, working in IT, he started forcing himself basically to jot down his technical notes and planning steps in English, even when it felt awkward at first,
Yeah, those first steps often do.
Things like debug the code or deploy the update.
Right, standard stuff, but in English.
Yeah.
And within just 2 months, he moved past those simple commands. He was confidently using quite sophisticated terminology like algorithm optimization and user interface enhancements.
In real-time discussions.
Yeah, in actual professional conversations.
Wow. That anecdote really highlights something crucial, I think. This isn't just about hitting some arbitrary fluency goal. It's about connecting language integration directly to, well, measurable career performance.
Absolutely.
Raj's better collaboration and his use of that specific industry language led directly to a promotion. The language became a real professional asset, not just a skill he was learning.
And what's fascinating here, I think, is how integrating language into functional professional actions, like his planning notes or status updates, it accelerates fluency much faster than traditional study because you're attaching new vocabulary directly to pathways you already use.
Existing behaviors. Okay, so if we're maximizing our immediate workspace, then the travel time or maybe those study breaks that follow, They seem like a perfect block for a complementary skill. Strategic listening. This must be habit 3.
Yes. And the key here is relevance and challenge. You want to tune into English audiobooks or maybe TED Talks, but specifically on topics that genuinely interest you.
Right.
Whether that's astrophysics or history or cooking, whatever. The idea is you actually want to pick up terms like entanglement or superposition if you're listening to science, for example.
And here we hit that critical guideline, the 80% understanding rule. We mention it quite often, but maybe we should be really clear for the listener. What exactly is that sweet spot?
Good point. It's really about finding that balance between challenge and frustration. You should understand the main idea, the overall context, and maybe say 8 out of 10 words in most sentences.
Okay.
This stretches your comprehension. It forces you to kind of deduce meaning from the context without getting so lost you have to constantly stop and look everything up.
Right, which would just kill the flow.
Totally. And to make sure you're actually retaining it, the source really advocates for an active interaction technique.
Which is?
Pausing every few minutes to quickly paraphrase, just summarize in your own words what you just heard.
Okay. That makes sense. Forces recall.
Exactly. It forces that memory consolidation. Look at Sophia from Spain. She listened to true crime podcasts during her commute. And she set this simple habit, note down just one idiom per episode, like red herring, for a misleading clue.
Just one. Seems manageable.
Very. But by focusing on those nuances, those idioms that really signal advanced understanding, she expanded her active vocabulary by over 150 words in just 3 months.
Wow. 150 words from one idiom per commute. That's a huge return on a pretty short daily commitment.
It really is. And it connects the learning directly to something engaging like true crime.
Okay, so after strategic listening, the lunch break pops up as the next big opportunity. Habit 4 must be active reading.
Yes, active reading. And this specifically means replacing that sort of mindless phone scrolling.
We all do it.
We do. Replacing that with short English articles or focused blogs, maybe from BBC News or Medium, something like that.
Okay, sounds great in theory. But let's be realistic. When you're properly tired at lunch, how do you actually stop yourself from just defaulting to social media instead of tackling a maybe challenging BBC article?
Yeah, that's the real challenge, and that's where the active part really matters. The process needs definition. You don't just passively read it.
Okay.
You highlight words you don't know. You look them up right then and there. And then, this is the crucial bit, you summarize the main point or argument, maybe just into a quick voice note on your phone.
The summary action again.
Yeah.
Makes it a task with an output.
Exactly. It makes it a high-value task that feels like it justifies that bit of mental effort.
Okay. And Lee from China reading tech blogs at lunch, he saw this direct application, didn't he?
He did. He wasn't just learning words like blockchain or artificial intelligence in a vacuum. He was learning how they actually functioned in context, in real articles.
And the result?
Within about 4 months, this directly translated into him writing much clearer engineering reports and boosted his confidence in presentations, too. The clarity of his written communication was genuinely transformed.
Another direct link to professional improvement.
Right. So as we move into that, let's say, true mid-afternoon period, energy often dips. And this demands a shift towards more communicative effort. Habit 5 is about scheduling short, specific, maybe 10-minute conversational breaks.
Okay, like using those language partner apps, Tandem, Hello Talk.
Exactly. Or, and this is maybe for when you're alone, and let's be honest, this can feel a bit awkward at first.
Definitely.
Recording short monologues on your phone, just describing your surroundings, right? The office is pretty busy today. I really need to focus on this deadline. It's practice in actual production.
That initial awkwardness.
That awkwardness is actually a sign of growth. You're forcing yourself to push past that inhibitory control that's needed to speak a foreign language spontaneously.
Right, overcoming the hesitation.
Yeah. Aisha from Pakistan focused on this during her tea breaks. She'd chat with an online partner about the day's news, and she started picking up discussion phrases like, in my opinion, or that's a valid point. It sharpened her debate skills really quickly.
Okay, so that focus on quick conversational bursts leads nicely into habit 6, doesn't it? Polishing written communication.
It does. Even if your job doesn't constantly demand English writing, practice writing professional-style emails. Really focus on formal structure greeting, body, closing, and using polite language.
Like instead of just saying, tell me what you think, using something like, I would appreciate your input.
Exactly, that kind of nuance. Writing forces you to pay attention to structure and subtle shades of meaning that speaking sometimes glosses over. Juan from Mexico, a graphic designer, he started doing this, practicing writing detailed client proposals in English. He moved way beyond basic sentences to integrating these high-level verbs like conceptualize and iterate.
And the outcome for him was pretty measurable, wasn't it?
Absolutely. The improved quality of his proposals, using that more sophisticated language, directly led him to landing international clients within about 6 months.
Wow. Again, language skills used as a direct business development tool.
Precisely. And finally, because the afternoon really tests our willpower, habits 7 and 8 focus on leveraging existing structures and finding ways to relax while still learning. The data suggests habit stacking is really key here.
Habit stacking. Right? Pairing the new, maybe difficult task with an established, easier routine you already have.
Exactly that. Like, pair your flashcard review, maybe using an app like Anki, with your post-lunch coffee or that short walk you always take.
Yep.
Anita from India did this. Reviewed vocabulary during her post-lunch walk and saw a measured 40% better retention rate after doing it consistently. The walk itself became the cue for the review.
40% is significant.
It is. And then for relaxation, the final habit, watching English tutorials related to your hobbies.
Like guided videos for leisure, cooking shows, yoga instruction.
Yes. That combines the learning with genuine stress reduction. Elena from Russia watched yoga videos in English. She learned all this descriptive language by actually journaling about the poses afterwards, like warrior pose or child's pose.
So she was integrating visual, physical, and linguistic learning all at once.
That's the idea, multimodal learning.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for me. We've talked about these habits as ways to sort of manage time better.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the why. The brain science behind using English to actually fight that afternoon slump.
Right. Neurologically speaking, the slump is often characterized by high cognitive load fatigue. Your brain's just tired. But short, focused bursts of English practice, as the sources reveal, don't necessarily just add to that load. They can actually redirect it.
Redirect it. How?
Well, language practice strengthens specific neural pathways, particularly those associated with recall, decision-making, and what scientists call inhibitory control.
Inhibitory control. Okay, that's the ability to focus and ignore distractions, right? Which is exactly what tends to go out the window post-lunch. So you're saying using English actively boosts the very function that fatigue diminishes.
In a way, yes. It can act almost like an energizer for those specific circuits, but it's really important to personalize this.
Oh, so?
Well, if you're more of an introvert, those solo habits like journaling or passive immersion, they might actually recharge you. Whereas if you're an extrovert, you'll likely thrive more on those partner chats.
Makes sense.
Even in cultures with a tradition like a siesta, that rest time can be adapted. Maybe for focused listening immersion, for example.
Right. And the critical element here seems to be tracking your progress, celebrating those small wins, and measuring success not just by some abstract fluency level, but by your well-being and that feeling of achievement when you master a new phrase in a real situation.
And that leads perfectly to the final and maybe the most crucial habit of all.
Reflection.
Yeah, like a quick mid-afternoon recap, maybe just writing down or even saying out loud what you've achieved language-wise so far that day. Okay, I managed 3 tasks, and I successfully used the term conceptualize in that email.
Cementing the wins. Maria from Brazil used this reflection technique, didn't she, to shift her whole mindset?
She did. She went from focusing on her errors and feeling self-doubt to consistently noticing and tracking her small daily victories. And that led to this profound sense of empowerment.
It turns the afternoon from something you just have to endure into something you can actually conquer.
Exactly. And if we connect all this to the bigger picture, the afternoon really holds immense untapped potential. It can move you past those intermediate hurdles and firmly into advanced territory.
Right.
And the next step in that growth, it's often moving beyond just basic vocabulary and starting to explore more nuanced idiomatic expressions, especially for professional settings.
That's the real signal of an advanced speaker, isn't it? Instead of just saying a task was easy, you can maybe casually drop in a meeting that it was a piece of cake.
Precisely. Or instead of bluntly stating you're unwell, using that subtler, more polite phrase like you're feeling under the weather.
Those are the keys, really, to deeper cultural integration and much more sophisticated communication.
Unlocking the afternoon really does turn routine into growth. But it's fueled by intentionality, by choosing the right habits, and by integrating them seamlessly into the day you already have.
So this raises a really important question for you listening. Which one habit, whether it's Raj's professional notes and that mental reset they offer, or Sophia's targeted idiom hunting, or maybe Juan's game-changing client emails, which one will you start today to unlock that untapped potential in your afternoon?
Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're looking at something I think many of us overlook, our evenings.
That's right.
Specifically, how to use that time, that sort of golden opportunity after the day's chaos winds down. We're digging into how you can turn your English practice from maybe a bit of a chore into something natural, something that actually sticks.
Exactly. And our mission today is pretty clear. We've looked at real stories from learners, some interesting insights, and we want to basically distill that into a practical plan. Evening habits that work.
Okay.
And we need to understand why evenings are so effective for locking in information. Then pull out steps you can actually take, whether you're just starting out or trying to get really fluent.
Right. Let's unpack the why first, because I think a lot of people listening might be thinking, look, I'm exhausted by 8 p.m. and the last thing I want is more work.
Yeah, it's a common feeling.
So why add learning then? Let's talk science before we get to the habits. Why are those pre-sleep hours so special?
Well, it's fascinating. That physical tiredness, it often hides a really useful mental shift. See, during the day, your brain's just constantly taking stuff in, right?
Yeah.
External input overload. But in the evening, especially when you start to wind down, your mind naturally becomes more, reflective. That's the psychological edge. You're moving from just getting information to actually processing it.
Processing experiences.
Exactly. It gives you mental space to think about the day, but you can choose to do that thinking in English.
Okay, so we're not talking about cracking open a dense grammar book right before you turn off the light. That sounds stressful.
Definitely not. No, this is about thoughtful integration, gently working with the language you might have encountered earlier.
And that leads to the brain science part.
Precisely. That's the neurological advantage. When you practice something meaningful just before sleep, you're essentially setting it up for your brain to work on overnight. Sleep, particularly those deep REM cycles, isn't just downtime. It's prime time for your brain to strengthen neural pathways, solidify memories, learning, and then sleeping on it. That's a powerful combo for retention.
So the key words are consolidate,
Strengthening the memory,
and reflective.
Being thoughtful about the practice, that gentle, focused input right before bed is what really seems to stick.
Okay, this is where it gets practical then, because it's not just about studying in the evening, it's about specific low-effort habits designed for that pre-sleep window.
Exactly.
Let's get into the 4 core habits. These seem to work across different levels, starting with writing.
Yes, habit number 1, the English Reflection Journal. It's simple, really. Just dedicate maybe 10, 15 minutes before bed, jot down some thoughts about your day.
In English.
In English. It's crucial that it feels like a safe space. No judgment. You can experiment with words, maybe try a new sentence structure without any pressure of saying it perfectly out loud.
And it works for different levels, you said. How does that scale?
Yeah, absolutely. So a beginner, maybe someone's still struggling with basic sentences. They could just write a simple report. Something like, I walked the dog. I had dinner with my family. Maybe add a feeling. I felt happy. Short, complete sentences. That's a win.
Okay.
Whereas someone more advanced, they can use that time to craft more detailed, nuanced reflections. Maybe think about a complex situation at work or the challenge they faced. They could practice using more sophisticated vocabulary, words like articulate, to express something clearly, or describe their initial apprehension, that nervousness before a difficult meeting.
Can you give us an example, a story of this working?
Sure. There's a great example with Priya from India. She started super basic, just those simple daily reports.
Right.
But she quickly saw the journal as her personal language lab. She started making a point to include maybe 2 new words each night.
Oh, clever.
Yeah. And within about 6 months, she wasn't just reporting. She was writing these detailed paragraphs about her career goals, analyzing things. It moved way beyond just what I did today. And that nightly practice, it directly helped her structure complex thoughts and, articulate her skills really confidently in a job interview. An English-speaking one, highly competitive. She nailed it.
That's a huge return for just 10, 15 minutes a night.
Isn't it just?
Fantastic. Okay, but what if writing just isn't your favorite thing? Let's move to habit number 2. This one involves something many of us do anyway, watching movies or TV series.
Right. Transforming entertainment time into learning time.
How does that work without feeling like homework?
It's about shifting from passive watching to active engagement. The key is choosing content that fits your level.
So what does that look like for a beginner?
For beginners, maybe stick with comedies, something with a lot of visual context, and it's absolutely okay to start with subtitles in your own language.
Really? Native language subtitles. I thought the advice was always English subtitles or none.
That's a common thought. But for absolute beginners, native language subtitles can provide scaffolding. They reduce the anxiety, help you follow the plot, and you can still pick up on things, maybe common phrases or slang, like break the ice, starting a conversation.
Okay, so it lowers the barrier.
Exactly. It's a starting point. Then, as you improve, you switch to English subtitles, and eventually, none at all. For advanced learners, that's the challenge. Subtitle-free dramas, documentaries, really focus on listening comprehension, the nuances of speech.
But you mentioned active engagement. Watching isn't enough.
No, the real learning boost comes after you watch. We call it the retention multiplier.
Which is?
The summary. After the show ends, take just 2 minutes. Seriously, like 120 seconds. Summarize the plot out loud, or even just silently to yourself. Note down any new words or phrases you picked up. Maybe something like cliffhanger.
Forcing recall.
Precisely. There was Ahmed from Egypt. He used this method watching Friends. He didn't just watch. He made himself note down 3 new phrases after each episode. His understanding of casual, everyday English improved significantly.
That makes sense. Okay, from listening comprehension to actually speaking. Habit number 3. Scheduled language exchange. Getting interactive.
Yes, using technology for real-time practice. Apps like italki or Tandem are great for this.
Okay.
The key here is scheduled and short. Book a quick, focused 15-minute chat. Maybe just talk about your day or pick a simple topic.
15 minutes. But scheduling another thing in the evening, doesn't that just add more pressure, more stress?
It might sound like it initially, but the consistency is what matters, not the length.
Yeah.
Knowing you have that short, dedicated slot for actual conversation can, over time, actually reduce speaking anxiety because it just becomes part of the routine. It's low commitment.
Okay, I see the logic. And how does this adapt for different levels?
Well, intermediates could use that time for, say, late debates. Practicing opinions, technology has its pros and cons, and trying to argue their point coherently. Advanced learners, they can push themselves further, reflect on more complex ideas, maybe discuss a book or an article they read, practice expressing nuanced thoughts like, I contemplated the cultural influences on behavior.
And this is where idioms come in naturally.
Absolutely. Conversation is the best way to make idioms stick. Say your language partner gives you really good advice in the chat. That's a perfect time to learn and use something like hit the nail on the head.
Meaning exactly right.
Exactly right. We saw this with Maria from Brazil. She worked in sales and used these nightly chats very strategically, not just for general fluency, but specifically to practice, giving concise feedback and handling objections.
Work-specific practice.
Yes. And within about 4 months, her confidence at work soared. She said she stopped mentally editing herself so much mid-sentence during meetings.
That's powerful. Okay, one more core habit. Habit number 4 sounds like the ultimate multitasker. Using chores for listening practice.
Yes. Leveraging that time you're already spending doing something else, like cooking, cleaning, folding laundry. Time that might otherwise feel, wasted from a learning perspective.
So what do you listen to?
Podcasts are perfect. Something like the BBC's 6-Minute English is great, or find podcasts on topics you're genuinely interested in, science, history, whatever. Because the chore itself is often mindless, your brain can actually focus quite well on the language input.
But how do you make sure it's not just background noise, that you're actively learning?
Good question. It needs to be active listening, at least in bursts. The key technique is super simple. Pause the audio now and then.
Okay.
Repeat a phrase you liked or a word you want to remember, like maybe the word game changer. That immediate repetition, saying it out loud, it builds muscle memory for pronunciation, trains your mouth.
Right. Makes it physical.
Exactly. Aisha from Pakistan used this method really rigorously while she cooked dinner every evening. Started just repeating basic sentences. Within 5 months, her overall comprehension, not just on tests, but understanding the news and things, improved by something like 40%.
40%. That's significant.
It really is. It shows that even seemingly passive activities can be learning powerhouses if you just inject small moments of active engagement.
Okay, 4 really solid habits there. But as you said earlier, knowing this is one thing, applying it is another. It needs to be tailored. How do we help someone listening customize this, build their own evening routine?
Right, because it's not one size fits all. We need to break it down by where you are in your learning journey.
Let's start with beginners. Where should their focus be? They need those quick wins, right?
Absolutely. Keep it simple. Focus on achievable tasks. Maybe listen to slow podcasts. Repeat very simple phrases out loud to get the rhythm. The journaling should be basic sentences. Consistency over complexity is key here.
And tools.
Maybe something basic like Quizlet, just to nail, say, 5 or 10 core verbs or essential phrases each night. Small, manageable chunks.
Okay, what about intermediates? They're past the basics, but maybe feeling stuck. That intermediate plateau.
Yeah, that's a common frustration. Intermediates benefit hugely from pushing their active output. So more conversation practice, the language exchange habit, is crucial. And summarizing things, articles, maybe a chapter from a book they're reading, their focus should really be on building fluency, expanding vocabulary, especially descriptive words, maybe pairing habit 3, the chat, with habit 1, writing a summary of the chat afterwards.
Nice combination. And advanced learners, their refining maybe needs specialized language.
Exactly. Advanced learners need to tackle complexity. Structured debates during their language exchanges, complex writing prompts in their journal, maybe even role-playing specific scenarios like a presentation or negotiation.
And tools for them.
They should be using more advanced resources. Watching YouTube videos on industry-specific topics, maybe TED Talks. Pausing actively to pull out nuanced vocabulary, domain-specific terms, words like meticulous or paradigm shift. And using tools like Anki flashcards, but really focusing on using those words in context on the cards.
Okay, that makes sense. But let's talk reality. Life gets in the way. People get tired, schedules change. How do you build consistency when you're just wiped out? What's the blueprint for sticking with it?
This is probably the most important part. First, try to protect that learning time, even if it's just 15 minutes. Make it sacred if you can.
Okay.
Second, track your progress, but don't just count hours. Track the small wins. Did you master a tricky phrase? Did you manage 3 journal entries this week? Acknowledge and maybe even celebrate that.
That psychological boost.
It's crucial. Third, manage your motivation. Pair the habit with something you enjoy. You get to watch your favorite show after your 10 minutes of journaling, or listen to your favorite music after your language exchange call. Use a reward system.
Right, make the English practice the gateway to the relaxation. What about those nights where you genuinely feel like you only have 5 minutes max? Skip it.
No, never skip if you can help it. Use the 5-minute rule. If you absolutely can't do the full 15 or 20 minutes, commit to just 5. Review your flashcards. Repeat 3 phrases from a podcast you heard earlier. Listen to 1 short dialogue.
Keep the momentum.
Exactly. Consistency is like a muscle. Skipping a day weakens it. 5 minutes is better than 0.
And if you're really looking to wind down, you mentioned a more relaxing option earlier.
Yes, absolutely. For nights when stress levels are high or you just need calm, choose a habit that delivers English input while reducing stress. Guided meditations in English are fantastic for this.
Like on apps like Calm or Headspace.
Precisely. They help lower speaking anxiety. Plus, you get familiar with the rhythm, the intonation, some calming vocabulary. Aisha, the learner who boosted her comprehension with chores. She also found these meditations really helpful for calming nerves before speaking tests.
That's a great tip. Okay, let's move into our final section, leveling up the practice. Advanced techniques for really maximizing retention and building that confidence.
Right, because practice is good, but smart practice is better. We need to actively engage with our weak points. Let's talk about the mistake journal.
Okay, sounds a bit daunting.
It can feel like it, but it's incredibly effective. Every time you catch an error, maybe something you wrote in an email said in a meeting, or even just notice in your reflection journal, log it.
Log the mistake.
Yes, and immediately write the correction next to it. So if you notice you wrote or said I have 20 years old, you write that down, then write the correct form. I am 20 years old, and maybe practice saying the correct version a few times.
So you're turning errors into instant learning moments, not sources of shame.
Exactly. It reframes mistakes as opportunities. And building on that, another powerful technique is role plays.
Simulating real situations.
Yes, especially high-stakes ones. Job interviews, difficult conversations, presentations. Practice them out loud in the evening. Say the confident phrases you'd want to use, like, I'm adaptable and thrive under pressure. Repeat them until they feel natural.
Any examples of this working?
Definitely. Alina from Russia was terrified of English interviews. She spent 3 months doing nightly role-play practice, just simulating interview questions and answers. It internalized the language of confidence for her. She ended up acing an interview with an international company. That dedicated practice really prepares you.
That's incredible dedication. And what about integrating those vocabulary tools we touched on, like Anki?
Use them strategically. Don't just put isolated words on flashcards. Put the word in context, a sentence showing how it's used. If you're learning tech terms, the flashcard for meticulous should have a sentence like, "The developer was meticulous in checking the code." Context makes it stick.
It all comes together. So these evening hours, they really are a personal canvas for mastering English.
They truly are.
And the key message, it seems, regardless of your level, is just start small. Build from there. Maybe 3 sentences in your journal tonight. Or watch just 10 minutes of a show with that active summary afterward.
Exactly. Consistency over intensity, especially at the beginning. Commit to something tonight.
And as a final thought, you mentioned something really interesting from the source material, using English not just for basics, but to explore deeper ideas.
Yes, pushing beyond transactional language. The idea was mentioned of using English to discuss concepts like the Japanese concept of ikigai, finding your sense of purpose.
Wow, discussing purpose in a language you're learning, that forces a different level of thinking, doesn't it? More precision, deeper reflection.
It really does. It stretches your expressive abilities way beyond just talking about the weather or ordering coffee. Using your evening practice to grapple with big ideas, defining your values, discussing philosophy, understanding concepts like ikigai, it doesn't just improve your English. It forces you to clarify those big ideas for yourself.
So here's the provocative thought we want to leave you with today. What if you use that dedicated evening practice, even just a little bit of it, to explore concepts that really shape your life, like purpose or values? How might that shift not only how well you speak English, but maybe even how clearly you understand yourself and your own philosophy?
Something to think about. Start tonight, maybe with just one reflective question, and see where it takes your language and your thoughts.